Many days passed. The dragon did not leave the forest. Soldiers stayed away now. They had seen what Emma had done. They saw the dragon was no longer dangerous. No one wanted to fight a creature that had trusted a small human girl. Emma came to the forest every day. She brought food, water, and more healing salves. The dragon was getting stronger. Its wings healed slowly. The blue blood stopped flowing. Emma gave the dragon a name. "I will call you Archer," she said softly. "It means brave heart." The dragon's great eyes blinked slowly, a soft rumble in its chest. "I like this name. Little one, you are my friend now," Emma smiled. "You can call me Emma?" The people in the town began to hear stories about the brave girl and the dragon. Many could not believe it. How could a child help such a beast? But when they came to the edge of the forest, they saw it with their own eyes. Emma would sit beside the dragon, reading stories aloud. Sometimes she would hum songs. The great dragon would listen, eyes half closed, a soft growl like a purr in its throat. One day, a town leader came to speak to Emma. "We cannot let the dragon stay here forever," he said. "What if it gets angry again?" Emma stood tall. "Archer is my friend. He was never bad. He was only hurt. He will not harm us." The leader looked at the dragon. The beast lowered its head and blinked slowly. It made no move to fight. The leader nodded. "Then he may stay. But we will build a place for him, far from the town." And so, with Emma's help, they built a large shelter deep in the forest. Strong stone walls, clean water, and soft earth where the dragon could rest. Emma visited every day. As the weeks passed, Archer's wings grew stronger. He began to stretch them, flapping slowly. He could not yet fly, but the day would come. One evening, as the sun set, Archer spoke to Emma again through their mind link. "Little one, soon I must go. My kind are far away in the stars. But I will never forget you." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "Do you have to leave?" I must. But before I go, I will give you a gift." Archer lowered his great head. His warm breath brushed Emma's face. Soft light glowed between his horns. He touched her forehead gently. Emma felt a strange warmth fill her body. "Now you will always be able to speak to dragons. You'll be known as a friend of my kind." Emma hugged the dragon's great head. "I will miss you, Archer, and I you. But we will meet again. Look to the skies." The next morning, the people of the town watched in awe. As the great dragon finally flew, his wings stretched wide. The mighty roar, he rose into the sky. Emma stood below, waving, her heart full of joy and sadness. Archer circled once above the forest, then flew into the clouds higher and higher, until he was gone. But Emma was not alone. She could still feel his voice in her heart. And from that day on, whenever anyone came to the town with fear of dragons, Emma would tell them, "Not all dragons are bad. Some are only hurt, ... And sometimes, all they need is a friend." And so, the story of the brave little girl and the wounded dragon became a tale told for many generations. A story of kindness, a story of courage, a story of friendship between a human and a dragon. Jocks returned the next night, carrying another bowl of hot broth. This time he added strips of soft meat and ground nutrient gel. His stomach twisted at the thought of what the poor creature had suffered. He slipped through the maintenance door of Dock Bay 7B, heart pounding in the silent corridor. He wasn't allowed to be here not without orders, but something in him didn't care. The wolf was still there, lying in the same corner, but its eyes opened when it smelled the food. They followed Jocks's every step. "Hey, buddy," Jocks whispered. "I brought you something warm." He placed the bowl by the force field. The warm scent drifted through the cold air. The wolf's nose twitched again. It moved barely. One paw scraped weakly against the floor. Its ribs showed beneath its dull fur. "You've got to eat," Jock said softly. "Don't give up." The creature inched forward, trembling. Its eyes locked on the bowl, full of hunger, full of hesitation. Jocks looked at the control panel beside. The force field. After a deep breath, he pressed the override. "Deactivate shield." The force field shimmered and faded. The air felt heavier without it. Jocks didn't move. Stayed seated, hands open, voice calm. It's okay. I'm not here to hurt you. The wolf's nose touched the floor. Then, slowly, so slowly, it dragged itself forward, each step shaky and unsure. It stopped before the bowl. For a long moment it only stared. Then, with a soft breath, the wolf dipped its muzzle into the broth, drank. Tiny laps at first. Then deeper. Its throat worked quickly, desperate and starving. Jocks felt a knot loosen in his chest. He smiled. That's it. You're not alone anymore. The wolf ate until the bowl was empty. When it finished, it lifted its head and stared at Jocks. Its amber eyes, still tired, now held a faint spark. Jocks tilted his head. You want more? The wolf didn't growl. It didn't bare its teeth. It simply watched him, ears low, but not. Afraid, Jocks nodded. All right, I'll bring more tomorrow. You hang in there, okay? He rose, gathered the empty bowl, and left quietly. Outside the bay, he leaned against the wall and took a shaky breath. That night, he couldn't sleep. His mind kept returning to the wolf's eyes the way they had followed him. Not with hate, but with something close to hope. For the next week, Jocks came every night. He brought better food each time, thicker broth, stronger protein, even scraps. Of cooked meat, the wolf grew stronger. It no longer crawled, it stood, thin legs shaking but standing. Its fur, though still ragged, began to regain a soft shimmer. Jocks learned to speak softly, to move slowly. He never reached out, never forced. The wolf, he let it come closer at its own pace. He also read everything he could find on the creature. Its designation was Model K9X, called Shadowfang. Its first handler, Lauren Officer, had died on a failed mission. After that, the wolf had shut down. No handler, no purpose. The scientists called it broken. But Jocks saw something different. Sitting on the cold floor beside it, he whispered one night, You're not broken. You're grieving? The wolf looked at him, soft glimmer in its eyes. Understanding, Jack smiled. Yeah, I get it. From that moment on, the wolf would rise when it heard Jax's voice. It waited by the force field, eyes brightening each. Time he came, in that forgotten bay. A bond began to form, one stronger than any program, any command. Weeks passed, Jocks kept coming every evening. He brought hot food and fresh water. Each time, the wolf grew stronger. Its fur began to shine again, dark and smooth. Its legs stopped shaking. The amber eyes that once looked tired now followed Jocks. Everywhere the first time the wolf crossed the force field was a moment Jocks would never forget. He had placed the bowl of food near the edge. The wolf stood on thin legs, staring. Then, step by slow step, it walked through the shimmering field. It was free to attack, to run, but it did neither. It only ate, careful and quiet. You trust me now, huh? Jocks said softly. The wolf looked up at him. No growl, no threat, just calm eyes. Jocks smiled. Good, you're not a monster. You're just ... lonely. Jocks had read the hidden files. The wolf had a name in the records. Kira, Unit S7, created as a weapon, designed to kill. But after bonding with its first handler, Lauren Officer Kira had refused to fight again after the officer's death. It had been called broken and thrown away. But Jocks knew better. Kira wasn't broken. Kira was grieving. One night, Jocks sat beside the wolf while it ate. We spoke in a soft voice. He called you a failure. I don't believe that. You're not a thing. You're alive. You understand me, don't you? Kira finished the meal, then slowly lay beside Jocks. Close, closer than ever before. Then something strange happened. A soft warmth touched Jocks' mind. No words, just a feeling, gratitude. Jocks blinked. Did you ... just talk to me? Kira's gaze stayed steady. Warmth returned. Not words, not language, but feeling. You can do this, Jocks whispered. You're a Psi-beast. You can link with minds. Kira leaned against him that night. Jocks didn't leave early, He sat with the wolf for hours, letting the quiet bond grow between them. After that, Kira followed him, not trapped in the bay anymore. Jox had hacked the security fields, giving Kira freedom to move at least in the maintenance levels. When Jox worked, Kira sat nearby, always watching. When other techs came too close, Kira growled low and deep. No one dared to argue with Jox about the wolf anymore, but trouble was coming. One morning, the head of security arrived in Dock Bay 7B. She brought soldiers. That creature is classified property, she said coldly. You are not authorized to free it. Jox stood between them and Kira. You left her to die. I saved her. She is a weapon, the officer said. She belongs to the military. Jox's fists clenched. She's not a weapon. She's a living being. The officer gave him one last warning. If you don't stand down, we'll strip the creature for parts. Kira growled, her body tense. Jox placed a hand on her shoulder. Easy, girl. We'll figure this out. But before they could act, the alarm rang. Reactor leak Sector D. Smoke and fire spread through the halls. People were trapped. Could get through the flames? Without thinking, Jox ran. Come on, Kira. The wolf leapt ahead of him, swift and fearless. Together, they raced into the fire. Jox and the alien wolf, now called Shade, had become a team. Months had passed since that first bowl of broth. Shade no longer looked thin or weak. Its black fur shone again, streaked with silver. The glowing tags on its shoulders blinked steady and strong. Shade walked beside Jox through the ship's halls, silent but alert. Some people stared. Some kept their distance. But no one dared to call Shade a failure anymore. They had proven themselves during the reactor leak. Jox and Shade had saved lives. After that day, the officers no longer argued. The captain herself had told Jox, "You've earned your place." So has the wolf. But not everyone was pleased. One day an officer from the bioweapons division came. Aboard his name was Vorn. He wore sharp clothes and sharper eyes. That creature, Vorn said coldly, belongs to my division. It is a weapon. It is to be returned and dismantled for study. Jox stood in front of Shade, fists clenched. You let it starve? You left it to die. It's not a thing to be taken apart, Jox said. Vorn sneered. You are a simple mechanic. You have no authority here. Shade growled, low and deep. Its amber eyes glowed bright, but Jox placed a hand on Shade's neck, calming it. I won't let you take him, Jox said. The argument grew fierce. Other crew members watched, unsure what to do. Vorn had orders from high command, but fate chose that moment to speak. The ship's alarm blared through the corridors. Intruder alert. Deck 5. Unknown hostile. Jox looked up in shock. Vorn cursed and ran to the control room. Jox and Shade didn't wait. Let's go, Jox shouted. They sprinted toward Deck 5. The halls were empty. Crew members locked in their rooms for safety. Smoke filled the air. Sparks flew from broken panels. An alien intruder, tall and armored, stalked the deck. He carried a plasma weapon and moved fast. Security drones were already down. Jox ducked behind cover. He looked at Shade. You ready? He whispered. Shade met his eyes. Soft touch of warmth brushed Jox's mind. Ready, Jox smiled. Go. Shade leapt into the smoke, silent, deadly. The intruder never saw it coming. Fangs sank into armor joints. The creature roared and swung wildly. But Shade was faster. It moved like shadow and wind. Jox grabbed a dropped stun rifle and fired. The plasma weapon clattered to the floor. Together, they forced the intruder back. With a final strike, Shade pinned it down, growling deep in its throat. The aliens surrendered. When the captain and guards arrived, they found Jox and Shade standing. Over the fallen enemy, by the stars. ... double quotes. The captain whispered. They did it again. Vorn appeared, face pale. He said nothing. He could say nothing. From that day, no one dared to call Shade a weapon or demand its return. The ship again. The crew now saw it as one of their own. Jox was given a special badge, marked with a wolf symbol. He wore it with pride. Shade stayed at his side, strong and proud. In quiet moments, Jocks would sit with Shade in the engine bay. He would pat its soft fur and whisper, "I'm glad you didn't give up." Each time Shade would lean closer, eyes glowing softly, and Jocks would feel the answer: warmth, gratitude, and trust. Never again would the alien wolf be alone or forgotten.